Hello and welcome to SolarQuotes Vodcast, episode 26.
Hi.
How are you, Ronald?
Feeling very mellow, thank you.
Why is that?
I've been studying Zen Buddhism and bringing about an end to desire in this physical form of mine. I've done very well, except I could really kill a curry at the moment. But that's all.
So you've had 4 days off?
Yeah, I have actually.
No blog posts this week?
No.
You have a nice relax?
Yeah, I'm really relaxed.
Good, we'll talk about other people's blog posts then.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't excite me at all. I'm going to stay mellow and calm.
Good. Well, let's see how long that lasts.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a trigger for you?
Bah! Oh, damn, Brosio.
So, yes, the solar fiasco in Victoria continues for another week.
Yep.
Won't spend too long on this, but we should go through it. So,
Yes.
Tim McCurdy, a Nationals MP, who was at the first protest and talked to a lot of installers, promised to try and get a parliamentary inquiry into the Solar Victoria rebate fiasco.
Yes.
Hopes dashed for parliamentary inquiry into solar homes stuff-up.
They took our hopes, cast them on the ground.
He lost the vote in the Victorian Parliament, and this is one of Tim McCurdy's graphics. As you can see, thanks to 3 independent MPs, Catherine Cumming MP, Fiona Patton MP, and Andy Medic MP. One's Animal Justice Party, one's Reason Party, and one's just independent. Why do you think they'd vote against an inquiry into such a disastrous scheme?
Maybe they thought they were doing a good thing. Or maybe it's just horse trading. Hey, if you vote against this, we'll support you on something you like, I don't know, what do people like these days?
Animal justice!
Pokemon.
So,
Don't make fun of animal justice. Some of my best friends are animals.
I wonder if they realise, these 3 independents, that they're really hurting the renewables industry in Victoria by not voting for this inquiry.
I want to know did any Labour MPs vote for it? They deserve applause if they did.
I don't think so.
Oh.
A few crossbenchers did.
Mm-hmm.
The Greens did. The Nationals did. Like I
Yes.
said last week, the Greens and the Nationals voting for the same thing. What does that tell you? And they were the only MPs that I saw at the protest.
Yeah.
The Greens and the National. And any MP I would tell you that spoke to the installers at the protests and voted against this inquiry has got rocks in their head. I don't think it would be possible for a human being with any empathy to vote against this inquiry that actually talked to installers in the Victorian industry.
Yeah. You can be cynical about inquiries, but it's the way the system works. It's far better than sitting on your hands and doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, someone said on Twitter, they said, we need action now, not an inquiry that ends in November. We need both.
Yeah, both.
You need to make sure this doesn't happen again and find out why it happened. And also, it would put big pressure. If they knew there was an inquiry coming, it would put big pressure on them to change it. Because I imagine a lot of rats would come out of the woodwork. I've got some Hansard. Would you like me to read it?
Oh, please do.
About the debate about whether they should have this inquiry. So this is Tim McCurdy speaking. Ben from East Gippsland has been running a successful solar installation business and undertook additional training in preparation for the introduction of the Solar Homes Programme. Very sensible.
Yes.
Despite repeated applications for the Victorian rebate scheme, he has been unsuccessful in obtaining a single rebate, which means that in the last 3 months he has not installed a single domestic solar system. How is the Minister's solar scheme not a failure when the operator of a successful renewable energy business is suddenly without work, without customers, and without income? Now, would you like to hear Lily D'Ambrosio's reply?
Mea culpa, I'm so sorry, we'll fix this right away. What did she say?
I can absolutely assure the member and all those in this house that this is a programme that is absolutely successful.
What?
Let me say this. With the programme, we have more installations which cannot occur without more work actually in the system in the market. We know that this is a transformational scheme. It is helping more Victorians put downward pressure on their energy bills with more installations for the whole industry to benefit from. It is a transformational programme. Yes, it's transforming successful businesses to bankrupt businesses. We are working with and will continue to work with the industry as they work through adjustments and adaptations to what is a nation-leading program. Oh my God, don't roll this out around the rest of the country, please. That goes to the heart of saving Victorians significant dollars off their energy bills each and every year. So what she's saying is, so this is a graph that I showed last week. So Warwick Johnson, that produced this graph, issued a bit of a mea culpa. He made an honest error, and July's figure should be there, not there, because he missed off some installations. So it's a little bit better than the figures we presented last week.
But what's it going to be in the future?
Yeah. But still, business as usual. We'd be there. We're actually there. But this hides a lot of things that are going on. Like we said last week, the big problem is actually this massive boom, which is what Lily D'Ambrosio is going on about. If you count all the installations in there and then look at a time frame from there to there, it's going to look really good overall. The problem is it's
now crashed.
It's not a single point in time. It's what you're doing to the industry going forward. Going forward, it's going like this when it could have been going like this. You've got all these guys that have ramped up their organizations to this really high
fever pitch.
And then you suddenly kill the industry. That kills businesses. And Lily D'Ambrosio has never run a business in her life, so she's very disingenuous when she says they've increased the amount of installations. She's just talking about this lump here, and she's totally dismissing the effects of killing an industry after that boom.
And just to be clear, the industry didn't ask for this subsidy. They didn't. Maybe they would have wanted one which worked, but they didn't say, "Oh, please give us a subsidy." This is just foisted on the industry, and then to help it, and then is now destroying it.
And when she talks about making adjustments to the scheme, she's talking about tweaking the portal. The portal is like a business killing machine, and they're making it more efficient. They're making the business killing machine more efficient. The portal was an absolute disaster when they rolled it out, so of course they've got to tweak it and make it better. I mean, God knows how many millions they're paying the IT contractors to fix that.
You don't need all that red tape. They can keep the $180,000 household income limit. They can keep the $3 million home limit or whatever it is. You just say, okay, here are the limits. To get the money, you must be within these limits. We will be checking later. Okay? And we'll come down on you like a quarter of a ton of bricks.
You're not going to lie and risk jail to get $2,000 from the government.
No need to jail people. Just hit them with a whopping fine if they're actually earning $5 million a year and decide to defraud $2,225 from the taxpayers.
So the government's not budging, and it continues. And we've got to keep up the pressure. Now, thankfully, the Clean Energy Council, who were silent on this issue for too long, have actually got quite a good PR messaging campaign going out, which is good. Because when we had a bit late to the party, but it's good. Thank you, Clean Energy Council.
Thank you for this.
When we had the first protest, the day after the CC do a media release, a roundup of what was in the news the day before. And the protest got a lot of media coverage. And the Clean Energy Council's media app didn't even mention the protest.
Yep.
It was like Politburo stuff. And I couldn't work out why they would do that, why they would ignore it. So obviously, something's changed in the Clean Energy Council, which is good. Thank you. I'd be really keen to know why you were silent on this for too long, but that's good. Thank you, Clean Energy Council. Keep pushing. It all helps.
Yes.
Other Clean Energy Council news. Yesterday, the chief executive made a statement that I think what he said was the Clean Energy Council will not be participating in installer Facebook groups anymore. They have to, if they want to talk to the Clean Energy Council, it has to be through official forums.
Oh, and they've got their own version of Facebook up, have they?
No, they've got nothing. So what you can do is you can send a email to ceo@cleanenergycouncil.org.au.
Right, and he'll get back to you, will he?
Who knows? So there's no, it's 2019. People communicate on Facebook. If you want to understand and engage with the 6,000 solar installers you represent, you've got to be where they are, which is on Facebook. Sorry, it's on Facebook. So the reasons they gave were that he said Clean Energy Council staff were getting physical and verbal threats and abuse.
Okay, that's not on if that's what's happened, but
Absolutely.
I don't know of any of it.
Absolutely, that's not on if that's happened. I've never seen it. I've seen some very robust discussion.
Yes.
Which you get when people are passionate about an industry.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, no, obviously you shouldn't tolerate that. But the way to fix that is not just to withdraw from social media. That's just nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I just sense there's something going on with the Clean Energy Council, and I sense growing chasm between the Clean Energy Council and the rank and file installers, and it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
The Clean Energy Council are very good with the big end of town. They do a good job there. I really don't think they're very good with the small end of town. I think they're just too far removed from them.
I think they're becoming more and more irrelevant.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, they've made some terrible decisions recently that have really got the installers offside. Approved solar retailer scheme becoming mandatory in Victoria, trying to make it mandatory elsewhere on the back of state government schemes. The battery standards, voting for that when I haven't spoken to an installer that wanted that battery standard to come in. And other things that we won't go into. So interesting to see what happens there.
We'll see.
I think we need a grassroots revolt personally. I will not be renewing the SolarQuotes' Clean Energy Council membership. It's not cheap. It's like $3,600 a year.
Yep.
I will let that expire.
It's a lot of bags of feed.
Should we go into some good news?
Oh, definitely.
Best review of the week. This is a client called Soltek Energy based in Sydney.
Right. They have solar in Sydney. That's good news.
Yeah, they do have solar in Sydney. Soltek responded within 24 hours of your contact. They offered two systems, 1 times DC string inverter and 24 times 240 volts, 230 volts actually, Enphase inverters. Through their advice and your information, we chose individual inverters to cope with shade. LG supplied 25-year product. Ooh, Enphase LG.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
Quality job. Quality stuff.
Yeah, Enphase had a 10-year product warranty, 25-year product warranty on the LG panels, and 5 years on the Envoy monitor. Come on, Enphase, that could be 10 years.
Yeah.
You let yourself down there.
If it goes, you just replace it. Come on.
Which helped our decision. So the warranties helped their decision. We like the online monitoring, facility of Enphase and Envoy monitoring, so they can tailor their electricity use. So that's good. They haven't decided which electricity retailer to go with. Look, wait a quarter, wait until you get your first bill, then you can put the numbers into a tool like the one on our site, and then you can actually quantify which one would give you the lowest bill. Minor faults were rectified quickly after informing them, including repair of roof tiles. So, I mean, I think that's the mark of a good installer. They do make mistakes occasionally, but when they're pointed out, they go back and fix them.
Yeah.
You could argue that if there was faults with the tiles, they should have noticed that. I don't know the details. They also organised disposal of our old solar panels, so looks like they ripped off an old system and put on a new system. An excellent experience all round from a perfectionist.
Ooh, very good.
Nice one, Soltek. I was going to do a bad review today, but I just thought...
It's depressing.
Too depressing.
Yeah, let's keep it positive.
We'll find a really bad review for next week.
Can I read it next week in my Joker voice?
Okay.
Yay!
Okay. Longi Panels launched... Longi Solar launched a new solar panel. What would you like to say about this, Ronald?
I'm very pleased about this launch by Longi Panels of their new HiMo X series. It's the first openly HiMo X-ual panel in Australia. So, good for you, Longi. And these are shingle panels. Now, as a foreign type person from that England type country, you probably think of shingles as something that goes on your roof. Here in Australia, it's a disease.
Note to solar panel marketing, people.
Yes. Shingle panels, probably you could come up with a better name. Overlapping panels. Crocodile scale panels, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, if you stick with the shingle things, we'll get over our factor.
About 20% efficient.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's panels. They've really come up in efficiency. You don't need to have so many on your roof. It's great. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the residential size, 60 cells, I think up to 345 watts.
That sounds correct to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Martin Green at the launch of these things, the godfather of
yes,
solar cells, he said that he doesn't think 40% cells are that far off commercially.
That's That's supposed to be. That was often said to be impossible. You know,
that's what he said. I mean, I don't know enough about the low level physics of solar cells, but imagine if you're stacking multi-junction cells.
Yeah, it'd have to be well, technically, it would have to be multi-junction. Maybe someone knows a way around that.
So these are the kind of dog's nuts panels at 20%. Martin Green, who knows his stuff, he's not one to for hyperbole. He reckons we'll be seeing panels at some point, not too far off, that are twice as efficient. That's nuts.
I don't know how that will be done, but
that changes the game, Ronald. That changes the game.
No,
40% efficiency.
Only if you've got a really small amount of roof space, And it'd be nice if we could install as many panels as we wanted, but there are complications. The distributed network service providers say, you can't put on that much solar. To spend several $1,000s upgrade to free phase if you want more. Oh,
true.
Well. But yes, it's still exciting stuff.
All right, you can get on your high horse now, Ronald. I know you love hydrogen. Jaws drop. This is a blog post from Richard Cherwin. Jaws drop. Alen Finkel talks hydrogen from fossil fuels at the Clean Energy Summit. Now, if you haven't already, it's worth going onto this blog post and watching the video that was taken of Alen Finkel talking at the Clean Energy Summit by a chap in the audience called Kevin, who kindly let us use this video. Alan is a big fan of hydrogen.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And there's two types of hydrogen. There's green hydrogen. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes.
And there's blue hydrogen, which sounds
no.
Blue hydrogen is hydrogen, and you make it by burning lignite, which is high moisture content coal. That's not good for anything else. And I think you'd argue it's not good for hydrogen.
Well, no, because basically the hydrogen they're making from the lignite, it doesn't come from the lignite. It comes from water. And you pump this really hot steam into the lignite, and all the carbon in the lignite becomes CO2. Now, you might think, Finkel says, we'll just capture that and stick it in the ground or somewhere. But you know what's going to happen with the Liberal Party?
What's going to happen?
They're going to say, we spent $4 trillion developing this, but it's too expensive if we're going to capture the CO2. Let's just let it into the atmosphere. What harm could that cause?
That's almost certainly what will happen. Yeah, they'll develop this process, and Alen Finkel, being a good chap that understands global warming, says it's okay to do it because we capture all the carbon. Carbon capture and storage too expensive, too difficult. It's just don't worry about that. But we'll still burn the coal. Dangerous talk, Alan. I mean,
I don't see how it will be at all economical because there are no hydrogen cars in Australia that I'm aware of. Probably just a few. You can't,
You're saying there's massive demand from Japan, which is a hydrogen roadmap.
People don't. That would be like if Japanese people believed Australian politicians and said, Australia is going to build many more coal power plants in the future. We should, definitely start making have our factories producing parts for these coal power plants. No, why do we suddenly start believing politicians when they're from another country? That's insane. I've lived in Japan. Their politicians are politer, but they're still politicians. They don't tell the truth. Why would people believe them?
Yeah. The other funny argument is because that lignite's in the ground, he thinks we should use it and support the Latrobe Valley.
That's very Soviet Union of them. We have a resource. We must exploit it.
The other thing that I learned talking to someone on the train, funnily enough, who knows a lot about this stuff, was telling me that the Japanese plan to inject hydrogen into coal-fired power stations to reduce their emissions by, I can't remember the number, I think it was in the order of 20%.
Yeah.
So it's actually helping prolong the viability of coal-fired power stations. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
And I don't see how it makes sense to me.
You think they'd make it locally?
Yeah, well, of course. Either you build your solar farms and rooftop solar and your wind turbines and you use the surplus electricity to make your hydrogen locally, or since doing it, hydrogen costs money and the cheapest way to make it is to import natural gas and then steam reform the natural gas into hydrogen and CO2. But, look, businesses, they're going to do what's cheapest. Yeah.
Apart from the Commonwealth Bank, who's going to give you a free $500 check.
Wow! Oh, I'm so impressed, Commonwealth Bank. Thank you.
Go on.
When do I get it?
You got solar on your roof?
Yeah, sure.
You got a mortgage with the Commonwealth Bank?
No.
Oh, tough. If you have solar on your roof, and you own your roof, and you have a mortgage with the Commonwealth Bank, and you send them proof of your solar system, allegedly, they'll give you a free $500. If you put it in if you open an account, or you already have one of their savings accounts, or
they'll put it in the account. That's great.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So go for it.
Free $500.
Tell your friends.
Commonwealth Bank customers. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, I think it's great that they're doing it. Fortunately, Commonwealth Bank is still involved with coal, funding their projects and so on, but they say they'll get out of it by 2030, so that's a lot better than nothing. They should get out of it. Okay, maybe they have commitments, which are hard to get out of, but please, as soon as you can.
All right.
Namaste.
It's Friday afternoon. You ready for some solar porn?
No. No, I'm not.
What?
Please don't show me solar porn.
Have a look at this, Ronald. This is pretty sexy.
Ooh. Okay, what am I looking at here?
NRG Solar, Josh Shepherd Electrical.
Yep.
I think this is the most beautiful off-grid system I've ever seen.
Uh-huh. So, is that a home, a house, a workshop? Looks like a house to me.
I think it's a shed.
Right.
Maybe a home attached to it.
If in Queensland, that'd be a home.
That's in SA.
Yeah, I'm saying in Queensland, that counts as a home.
That's a shed in SA.
Yeah.
We live the good life. So you think it looks good on the outside.
Yep. Oh, that's pretty spick.
Batteries, off-grid inverter, switchboards.
Well, but how does it work? Where are all the wires?
Pretty good, hey?
Yeah, they're hidden. Excellent.
Some jobs you can just look at them and you just know. It's high quality. So nice one, NRG. Nice one, Josh. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, whenever we talk about the cost of professionally installed off-grid solar, there's always a couple of gentlemen that spam the comments with, "That's a rip-off. You can do it yourself for $50 on eBay."
Yes.
So Josh, that installed this system a while ago on Facebook, posted some pictures of a DIY off-grid system, and. If you go on eBay, you can buy very cheap second-hand batteries.
Yeah.
You can buy dial-o-matic things, whatever that is, and you can try and self-install them. And I think it's
wow. I would not want that wood next to it just in case. It looks a bit dry and flammable. But and that leaf litter, I'd definitely sweep that away. So, but yeah, well, I think maybe if I read a pamphlet, I could do it that wood. Great, yeah.
If you're going off-grid, call in the professionals. Get that.
Or,
instead of that.
Yeah. Yes. If you're on, if you're very broke, I can understand if you can't afford the first one. But setting your house on fire accidentally, not worth it.
Anything else you want to say before we leave?
No, just I'll go practice my Joker voice after I finish talking to the plants.
Give us a preview.
No.
Okay. Till next time.
Bye.